Right. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, all. So, inequalities lesson. So, new lesson for the third term, right? And we are going to do some more extra classes on this month. Okay, on this month, so that we can do a lot of works and we can cover the rest of the lessons that we have cover from the second term as well. Second term may තියෙන දෙකක් තුනක් වගේ තියෙනවා. ඒ ටික cover කරන්න. Right? So, yes, inequalities lesson, right? So, I think you have taken the view, right? I think it is with you, right? So, yes, let's do it. Right? Inequalities. So, in the queue, I haven't given any space to do that, right? Do the questions, right? So, in the first few examples, you have to do it in your book, right? So, first of all, please write down the lesson name, inequalities, right? Inequalities. So, and what inequalities? So, before going to discuss about the inequalities, right? So the thing that you're familiar is equalities, right? So when it comes to the equalities, it denotes by this equal mark. It denotes by this equal mark. When it comes to the inequalities, so I will explain you explain you an example from the tube, right? So I have given you something like Sri Lanka, right? In Sri Lanka, a person who is 50 years older than, right, is considered to be a senior citizen, right? So if y denotes the age of the senior citizen, that can be shown by the inequality t greater than or equal to 55. And now, picture and one, right? Very simply, right? Don't write. So now I will take an example. This is your father, right? And this is you, right? This is you. This is your father, right? And your age is now 14 years old, right? Right. Your age is 14 years old. Sometimes your father, like, let's say, for 45. Let's take 45 years. So this is your father's age. This is your age. Right. Right. So when it comes to here, right? So what you are going to do to compare these two values? Comparison. If you want to do the comparison of these two values, on that point you are going to use inequalities. And on that point you are going to use inequalities. Right. So if I ask you something like this, compare these two values. These two values. Don't write clearly. Right. So I would take father's age as X. X here. I would take your age as Y. And I would take your age as Y. Father's age X, your age Y. Father's age is 45 years old. Your age is 14 years old. Right? Then how you are going to compare? Right? X and Y. So when you are going to compare those two, you should write it like this, right? And normally you know your father is older than you. Older than you. That means, in other words, right, your father is older than you. You are junior than your father, right? Your father is older. You are junior, right? That means older, and you are uh, junior person compared to your father, right? When we compare the ages, right? Right. So in other way, you can say 45 years is greater than 14 years. 45 years is greater than 14 years. Now we have taken X as your father's, right? So in other words, Y is your age, right? And we can compare X is greater than Y. X is greater than Y. Right? Right? So this is one of the comparisons that you can do. Right? Now, if you take it on the other hand, you can say Y is less than X. Y is less than X. Right? X is greater than Y. Y is less than X. Right? Now think something like this. This is one of your friends. Right? This is one of your friends. His age is like, let's say, 11 years. Right? Let's say your friend age is 11 years. Don't write Yandeba 11 years. Right? So I'm going to compare this one and say, right? I'm going to compare this one. Let's say compare these ages, right? Now this is one of them, and this is another one, right? So the definition of this is X is greater than Y, right? So when the inequality mark you place on this side, when the mouth of the inequality marks opens this way, right, to your left hand side. When the inequality marks mouth is open to your left hand side, it is called greater than. Then Y is less than when the point of the inequality marks, when the point of the inequality mark placed to your left hand side, then it is called less than. Y is less than X. Y is less than X. Right? And this is your friend. His age is, we do not know. Right? Let's assume we do not know the age of the friend. Sometimes this years can be 14 years. That years can be 15 years. That years can be 13 years. Sometimes you might have friends on the same age, right? And older than you and junior than you, right? There can be a elder brother, elder sister, right? Sorry, junior brother and junior sister, and elder brother and elder sister, more than that, more than you. Right? So we can write a common inequality for that one as well when it compares to your y, right? I'm going to compare your age and the friend's age now. Your age and the friend's age. Right? So now focus on the book. Right? I'm going to compare your y, age y, and z. Right? We do not know we do not know the age of this friend, right? It can be sometimes equal. It can be sometimes like this. Y is greater than z. Sometimes it can be y less than z, right? So these three scenarios can happen. And sometimes you two guys are in the same age. Sometimes you are elder than your friend. You are old. You are junior than your friend. And this is equal, right? Greater than, less than. So we are going to discuss about the inequalities greater than or equal or less than inequalities. We will make the discuss greater than, equal, or less than. Correct? Greater than, equal, or less than. We are going to discuss about those. Correct? Right. And we can split this. Split right? How we are going to split? Sometimes we can write y is greater than or equal x, right? Sometimes y is less than or equal x. Right? Sometimes y is less than or equal x. Right? Or else we can take y is greater than x, y is less than x, like here. Right? So we have done that earlier. Right? So how do we read this submit code here? How do we read it? Y is greater than or equal x. Y is greater than or equal x. Right? So how do we read this one? Make no read that. Y is less than or equal. Y is less than or equal x. Correct? So please write this from here, within the layer. Correct? So this is what I want you to know very basically. Then we are going to do some questions. Okay? When you are finished writing, please let me know. Right. Right. So there is no like big logic. Who logics nahe. So very simple things are there. Like so you can understand it. Right. There are no any big logics. Right. Very simple things are there. So the answer done. The tell me. Samidu, are you listening? Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So Buddha, I am going to ask you some question. Correct? I am going to ask you some question and please think very well and answer them. Correct? So now you know how to read these things. right? If something is like this, it is called x is greater than y. If something is like this, y is less than x, right? If something is like this, y is greater than equal x. If something is like this, y is less than equal x. Right? Now you know how to read. But when it like in the mathematical form, right? When you have some kind of mathematical form, right? How you are going to derive the answers by using the inequality? It is one of the important things that you need to know. Right? Right. I am asking from you something like this. Right? For an example, don't write up. Don't write. Look at the. I am telling you x is less than 3. Right? X is less than 3. So then how to read this one? Please write. Please write. How to read this? Right? How to read this? X is less than 3. Right? Leon, please write. Right? X is less than 3. Right? So, what are the values that we can take for x variable? So, we do not know x, right? But we know x is less than 3. X could I? So, what is the biggest number that you can take for x? What is the biggest number that you can take for x? Please send me a message. Yes, sure. Right? I'm asking what is the biggest number that you can take for x if x is less than 3. Right? I'm going to write down the value range for x for an example. So x can be, right, less than 3, no? Right? 2, comma, 1, comma, 0, comma, -1, comma, -2, comma, -3, comma, blah, blah, blah. Up to negative infinity you can take. Right? X can be 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3, -1, blah, 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 minus infinity. Right? And then I am asking, what is the biggest value that x can take? So yes, your answers are correct. Alright. So if I say the biggest value, the largest value, I will write largest value x can take is this number 2. Right? Right? So that's it. Then I'm going to write the other way. Example. X is greater than or equal to 3. Right? How to read? How to read? Please write. मुझे मेरी लिया है सर. Then let's go for the next one. What do you लिया है? I will. Okay, hope you have done. Correct? Right. So how to rate? X is greater than or equal. X is greater than or equal to 3. Right? Equal to 3. So what is the value rate that we can take for x? What is the value rate? So x can be, can we take 3? Can we take 3 as x? Can we include the number 3 for the x value range? Yes or no? Yes. Right? Yes. Because we are having equal mark here. Because we are having equal mark here, this x is also equal to 3. X is greater than or equal to 3. So the x can be 3, right? And greater values than 3. X can be 3 and all the other values are greater than 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Blah 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 up to positive infinity. Up to positive infinity. Then I will love something like this. Give me a count. Right? What is the smallest number that x can take? What is the smallest number that x can take? Can anyone tell? Okay, what is the smallest number that x can take? What is the smallest number that x can take? Okay, Billy is saying 3. Any other different answers? Any other different answers? Apart from 3? What about others? What is it? Hmm? What is the smallest number that x can take by looking at the equal? Okay. පුතේ දාගන්න නැත්නම් ස්ටෝරි තමයි. ඔයාලගේ ලොජිකල් තීකින් එක story.com වෙලා තියෙන පාඩම් කරලා. මේක කියන්න මොකද කට්ටියට දාන්න. නැත්නම් පොඩ්ඩක් charge වෙන්නේ නැහැ මම. උදේ මම නිදිමත වෙන්නේ. හරි. Okay, so yeah. Yes, your answer is correct. Yes. The smallest value that x can take is number 3. So write it. The smallest value x can take is number 3. Right? But you have any idea? Did you finish right? The Amani. The value all the Yalu they know the one. Kanatuya and one. You send her the link. Amani.
Yes, sir.
එයාට මේ මුදේ යන්නේ යවන්න දෙන්නේ කොහොමද මට අමුතුම හරි right okay right so these are the very basic things that you need to know and the other basic thing that you need to know is this now focus on the board right? Focus on the board I'm going to give you a special thing when you are dealing with inequalities you have to use number lines are the number lines when you are using number lines right with the inequalities there is some notation that you need to use, right? You are going to circle the values and you are going to like highlight the value ranges and so on and so forth. Now, when it comes to that part, important thing is, right? Important thing is, if you see only this inequality, right? Oh, this inequality, right? Right? So now in this inequality, you do not have any equal mark, right? Just the inequality with some comparison, right? With some comparison, you are seeing like only this inequality, right? This or this. In that case, you are going to use an empty circle like to mark the values, right? Use an empty circle to mark the values on the number line, right? On the number line, right? Then, second important point, if you have some kind of an inequality like this with equal mark inbuilt, greater than no equal or less than no equal. Now, here you have not just the inequality, but you have equal mark also inbuilt. Okay? Inequality and the equal mark, both are there. So, then you are going to use a circle, and this is not an empty circle, but it is highlighted. Highlighted circle or shaded circle, whatever. Right? Keep that in your mind, right? That is the difference of this. Just inequality, empty. Inequality with the equal mark, filled, shaded. So use uh, use a shaded circle to mark the values on the number line. Right? On the number line. Okay, after this part, we are going to do some more question. Put a mail on done. Please send me D once you have completed this. Right. Okay. Right. So the basic part is over, right? So let's go for questions. We have questions. That is the most important thing that you need to do. Right. So come to the page number one. Come to the page number one and example number one. Come to the page number one, example number one. Right. මට මේ ටික දෙන්නේ නැතුව ඕනනම් කෙලින්ම examples වලින් I could have begin, right? So could have begun like so that's I think it's not so suitable to do, so that I gave you the very basic understanding about the inequalities. So then we are going to do the examples, right? So I could have just begun from the examples and so on and so forth. But if you know these things, you can easily do the examples, right? Example number one. Consider the inequality x greater than 2, right? Example number one. Consider the inequality x greater than 2, right? So what is the first question they are asking? What is the first question they are asking? The set of integral solution is the set of integral solution is what is that? Integral integer values that you can take for this inequality. Integer values. They are asking a set, no? They are asking set එක. කුලකයක්, right? Set. So your answer should be something like this. You can take it like inside the brackets, curly brackets, right? So you know now your x values can be taken, right? All the values greater than 4 can be taken as the integral values, and you have to write down only the integers, right? Greater than 4. What is the smallest number that x can take? It is greater than 4. So we have to begin from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, comma, blah, 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 up to infinity. So that is the value range that you can take for x. Integral solutions. Integral solution. Integer solutions. So the x is greater than 4. That means you have to begin from 5, 6, 7, right? 8. 3 dots at the end. It means it continues up to infinity, positive infinity, right? So please write this, Melia. Then we go to the second. the integral solutions can be represented on a number line. Right? Number line is अभी मेरी बहुत देर निकला तो right, okay. So the idea support na, mana mega irrelevant tanggal dia kurang dan right? So I need your support to do this. Otherwise, you feel like lazy, right? Mana mega karagan and no, anda tu dah dapat ga? Teru, again, please support. Right? Once you have completed this one, send me D. I hope this time is enough, right? So I am going for yes, thank you. I am going for the second part, right? In the second part, they are asking the integral solution can be represented on a number line. So you are going to represent this integral solution on the number line, right? So by looking at these values here and this inequality, you know, x values can be positive, right? Positive, right? So if we consider a fair situation, fair situation, number line has like two sides, no, negative side and the positive side, right? Negative and positive. So we need to more focus on for positive side because all the x values are positive. And so that we are going to take less negative values compared to the more positive values. Now focus on the way that I am going to draw the number line is important. So pay your attention on that. So this is a straight line segment, and definitely you need to mark this arrow mark at the end. So it says this continuous. Right? Then now you know this major part of the x values are positive, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So I will begin from -1 only, so that we know we have negative part as well. Right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Blah blah blah. We have some more values as well, right? Now, the value that we are going to mark is first number 4. But I told you when you are marking on a number line, if you have only this and this, you have to use an empty circle to mark the values on the number line. So this inequality you are having, right? And it begins from 4. Where is my 4? Here is my 4. So I will place an empty circle there, an empty circle. So I will mark some more. Right? On top of 4, it should be an empty circle because we are having this inequality only, greater than inequality only. And the solution is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, blah, blah, blah. Those are the solution, exact solution for x. So for the exact solution, we are going to mark color. Right? So this is where we begin, and these are the solutions of that. These are the integral solution of that. Integral solutions of that. Right? It continues. Make a name. Huh? So then please write this one. Make a clear. So it begins from an empty circle because x cannot be equal to 4. Here you have 4, right? X is greater than just an inequality. So that you have to begin from a circle. you are not going to highlight it, then other solutions you have to highlight with the black color dot or whatever colored dot. Alright. Right. Okay. Great. Example number 2. X is less than or equal to. Right. X is less than or equal to. X is less than or equal to. Right. So, how to do this? First of all, they are asking from you the set of integral solution. Integral solution. That means integer solutions only. Integer solutions only. So, how to write? Within a curly bracket. Right? Within a curly bracket. Okay. So, x is equal to 2 also. So, you can take 2. First value is 2 because it is equal. And less values than 2. X is less than 2 also. And it is equal to 2. So, we are going to begin from 2. Equal. Right? Less than value 1, 0, minus 1. Right? Minus 2. Blah, blah, blah. It continues up to infinity. 3 dots or 4 dots, whatever. And then, important thing, how to mark this integral solution, integer solution on the number line. By looking at these values, you can get an idea. Correct? Second one. This is my number line. Arrowhead at the end, arrowhead. If you need, you need to put that arrowhead. Right? All the values are equal or less than 2. So I will begin from like here we have 0, minus 1, and minus 2, and minus 3, blah blah blah. Right? And for the positive side, 1, 2, 3. I will take up to 3. Right? It will be great. Best practice. But we are beginning from 2. Right? But 2 is thus 2 is having an equal mark also. X is less than or equal to. If we have greater than or equal or less than equality mark, the solution should be this. Right? So the beginning point that we are going to mark it, right? So this two should be complete highlighted circle, not an empty circle. This 2 is a highlighted circle, right? So we are going to begin from here. The reason we highlighted this circle is because we are having the equality mark with the equal mark. With an equal mark so that we have colored it. Right. Then we are going to mark the other solutions as well. 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. All the other values are highlighted values. Right? This one highlighted, 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 highlighted. Because from 2 to minus infinity, those are exact solutions of x. Because x is less than or equal to 2. All the values less than or equal to is a solution of x up to negative infinity. So then this is how we are going to do. Now you need to identify a pattern now. What is pattern? Okay, you need to identify that pattern. So let's do the example number 3. Now you need to understand what is the difference between example number 1, example number 2, and example number 3. In the example number 1 and example number 2, we discuss only about integral solution. That means integer solutions. Whether it is positive or negative, integer solutions only. Right? Positive integers and negative integers only. Right? Integral solutions only. But in the third one, what is the difference between when it compares to the example number 1 and example number 2? Right? Read it. Example number 3. Read Karanva. Represent the solution set of the inequality x greater than minus 4.5, right? On a number line. Now forget the value, but they are not asking about integral solution set. No, it's an integral solution set here, but they are asking represent the solution set. That means they are not specifying those solution set is equal to integers. They are asking from you highlight all the possible value set. Highlight all the possible value set on a number line for this inequality. Right? So I will explain you it again. Right? So our inequality is x is greater than minus 4.5. And they are asking the solutions. They are asking solution set. Right? Right? You have to mention the solution set on a number line. Don't try to do that. This is an important thing. This is a place where you get wrong in the exam. But here they ask for integral set. Integral solution. Take a integral solution. Solution set. But here they are asking solution set. So when they are not specifying integral or something, but instead of that, they are specifying the solution set. They are asking all the possible value set from you. You have to mention, right? You have to highlight all the possible value set on the number line. All. Even if the decimal number, yes, you have to mark. Right? If it is a decimal number, you have to mark. Here, minus 4.1/2 means 4.5, right? So basically, this value is referred to negative 4.5, right? Don't think too much. 4.5 means negative 4.5. Right? So we are going to uh, represent the possible solution set for that inequality in a number line, right? So now focus on the board. What is the make on the it is for your understand. No need to actually write this one. Maybe you don't have solution set. This is the important part you need to understand. All possible values, right? All possible values. Values for x. And all possible values for x. Ah, right. So first of all, I'm going to draw a number line, and by looking at the inequality, it says x is greater than negative 4.5. X is greater than, right? X is greater than negative 4.5. Right. Greater than means which side we need to go? Right. Now tell me negative 5. Is it greater than negative 4.5? Negative 5. If I say negative 5, right? Is negative 5 greater than negative 4.5? Yes or no? Think. Then put a hit on the wall. Okay. Question is saying no. So the is negative 5 greater than negative 4.5? Prushenka is saying no. What about the others? Puthala. Tell me. That. And then you can all good afternoon. Is negative 5 greater than negative 4.5? What happens when you are going negative side on a number line? The values, what happened to the values? Magnitude of the values. Is it getting bigger or getting smaller? When you are traveling to your left hand side of the number line, that means negative side of the number line. What will happen to the magnitudes of the values? Is it decreasing or increasing? Right? Magnitude is decreasing or increasing. When you travel to the left hand side of a number line, left hand side of a number line, decreasing, right? Yeah, decreasing. So now I will mark something like this. This is my number line 0, 1, 2, blah blah blah. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, right? Something like this. Now, where do we have negative 4.5? Where do we have negative 4.5? In between negative 4 and negative 1. Here. And do we need to highlight this number? This is 4.5. Do we need to highlight? No, just an empty circle, right? We are not going to highlight because we have only the inequality. We do not have any equal mark there. Just an empty circle. This is an empty circle, right? 4.5. Right. Now, all possible values for x. All possible values. How we are going to mark it? All possible values. Right. All possible values. Can we take 4.2, negative 4.2 as the answer? Can we take negative 3.5 as the answer? Right? Because we are not caring about the integrals only. Right? We can take negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. And I'm asking the decimal values. Right? What? If now this is negative 4.5, can you take negative 3.5 as the answer? Can you take negative 2.5 as the answer? Can you take negative 1.25 as the answer? Right? Because I am referring to all possible values. All possible values. Right? Not only the integers. Yes, we can take. So from here, from negative 4.5 to positive infinity, right? All the possible values that you can take as the answer for this. So you are going to highlight it like this. You are going to highlight it like this, double highlight. Right? Up to the arrow point, you have to highlight it by using your pencil. Right? Place your ruler and highlight it. In a minute. So now this is 4.5 value. 4.5 value. Each and every number, right, in between these points, you have to take as the answer. Each and every number, not only the integers, right? All the possible values are here. Right? From here to positive infinity, each and every integer, each and every number you can take. Each and every decimal number, decimal power, whatever the number you can take, right? So x is greater than negative 4.5. So the greater than means all the values to your right hand side is greater than from negative 4.5 because negative 4 is greater than negative 4.5, negative 3 is greater than negative 4.5, but so we are traveling to the positive side of the number line. So values getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So x is greater than negative 4.5. So this is how we are going to represent the solution on a number line. When you are having the keyword solution set, when you are having solution set, you have to mark all possible values for x. Right? So this is the way you are going to mark it on a number line. Here we have an empty circle because right, this inequality does not contain equal mark. And this inequality does not contain equal mark. So we are clear at D එකකට හරිනේ. Right. Okay. Shall we do example number 4? I want you guys to try example number 4. අරගෙන example number 4 එක try එකක් දෙන්නවා. Again they are asking the solution set. You have done right? Example number 5. Today try example number 4. Example number 4. And also if you want, you can try example number 5 as well. So I will explain both of them. Both of them. Please give it a try. Give it a try. Then after finishing, send me these two. Amazing. both of the questions they are asking the solution set. All possible way. All possible way. Solution set. All possible way. Actually done. Right. Oh, great. Super. Right. I'm going to do the example number 4 and example number 5. So please focus on the board. Board right. Right. What is example number 4? X is greater than or equal to -3. Right. X is greater than or equal -3. So Buddha, you are going to represent the solution set. All possible solutions, right? For X, all possible solutions, right? By looking at this, you can say X values are greater than or equal to -3, greater than or equal to -3. So we need to travel to our positive side of the number line, right? Because X values are greater than -3, no? Right? So -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. To that side, the values, the magnitude of the values are increasing, right? So, like in the previous thing we did, I will begin from like -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, blah blah blah. Right? So this is greater than or equal. Where is my -3? -3 is here. Greater than or equal. So we have to highlight this. We have to color this. From this point onward, all the possible greater than values set we have to highlight. So I am going to highlight this. value set up to positive infinity, right? Like this. So if you have this answer, your answer is correct. And up to this arrow point, you have to highlight that. You cannot stop somewhere around here. Maybe north and west. You have to completely highlight up to infinity, up to that arrow. So this is the answer for example number 4. Because they are asking solution set, not the integral solution set. Integral are so you have to mark it as dot 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 dot. Only the integers. But when they are asking on solution set, all possible solution set, you have to mark it like this. Marker. Right. Example number 5. Interesting one. Example number 5. Right. So, when it comes to example number 5, so you need to pay your attention on that. Why is that? Well, there are two things, right? Two values, right? In between those two values, you have the solutions. So, it is something like this. A greater than, I will say this is something, and less than B. All the possible solutions that lies in between A and B. And in between these two values, you have the answer. Right? So the left hand side value is -4. Right? All the values are negative, greater than -4. Sorry, is greater than -4. Then less than or equal 4.5. Less than or equal positive 4.5. So Buddha, you need to understand. For the x answer, we cannot include -4, right? For the x answer, we can include 4.5 because we are having equal mark. Because we are not having equal mark here, we are not going to take -4 as the answer, right? We are going to take 4.5 as the answer because we are having equal mark. And in between those two values, all the possible values we have to mark, right? So this is my number line up to infinity. Okay. So this is my -4, -3, and I will take -5 as well for the fairness. Okay, those are the so we are not going to do any asadhana things, right? So -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, so then 3, 4, 5, because we have made 4.5 as well. Okay, so -4 are here. Just an inequality, right? So I'm not going to highlight just an empty circle. Empty circle. 4.5. When you are marking 4.5, equally mark is there, right? So 4.5 is something around here. So I'm going to highlight the circle. I'm going to highlight the circle. So in between this circle and that highlight circle, we have to mark all the values. Those values are our solution x. X is in between these two values. So you would better mark the value set in between these two. So that is the difference between integral solution set and solution set. Correct? Integral set dot 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 dot. Solution set fully highlighted. Correct? All the possible values. Right. Hi. Okay. So let's go for more without any problem. Alright. There is a reading website. The most important thing, right? So now you know how to mark these things, no? You know, marker is one. You know how to mark these things, no? Right? And when you have been given something like, I will share the screen moment. Screen is shared. So hope you can see this product. Record clear. Hope you can see this one. Right? Now you know how to mark these inequalities on the number line when it is given. You know how to mark these things in an inequality. Right? So on a number line. But when it comes to this point, right, for each of the following, write an inequality that has the values represented on the number line as its solution is. Okay? So by looking at the number line, how we are going to write down the inequality on the other way. Now you know how to do the first part, this part, but now you need to learn how to write down the inequality by looking at the number line. Right? That is an easy thing, right? If you know how to represent these values, right, that is the reverse engineering thing of that. By looking at this inequality, you have to write, right, the inequality. Are you there? Yeah. Today, I want you to try this. Take 5 minutes of time. No, actually 3 minutes of time. Please give it a try to do this. For when we try again and give it a try. Right? By looking at the inequality, right? I will give the answer. I will give you a link help, right? So when you are going to write down an inequality, so the unknown value set you have taken it as x, right? Now inequality should be placed in between x and the value, right? And this value is -2. So you are going to compare -2 and x for the first part, right? So that is one of the needs. And for this one, you are going to compare x with -4. You have to place the inequality in between them. And when it comes to here, you are going to compare x and +2. That is the number. And this one, right? You are going to compare the unknown value set is x and with -1. Great. Do it fast. Do it fast. Okay, so you have done it, right? Right. So in the exam, they might give you something like this, and they will ask from you write down the inequality, right? Uh, Represented on this number line. Definitely, in the exam, there will be an question, right? In the essay paper, right? In the essay paper or the short question paper, there will be a question. So you can easily get the full marks. Okay, you can get the easily full marks, right? Sometimes you might be able to get like maximum 2 to 4 marks for this question in the exam mark. 2 to 4. Minimum is like 2. Maximum is like 4. Then you have to look at it. Right? Right. Okay. Then this one. So, so the all the exercise, this is the way that I am going to use. So I will use my pencil. In my childhood, I was doing this part. So this is the value of negative 2. So all the possible values are here. All the possible values are here. So I am putting x on top of this. X right? I am mentioning x here. Now negative is here. Negative 2 is here. Right? So now when it comes to this place, you know x values are greater than negative 2. Right? So this side x values are greater than negative 2. Right? When it comes to the other hand side, when it write it in this way, right, we are going to change it. X values are greater than negative 2. Right? We are not going to use equal mark here. Why is that? This is an empty circle. This is an empty circle, so that we are not going to use equal mark. Okay? Right? Right. But when it comes here, this is an highlighted point. Highlighted point. X values are here. X values are on this side. All the x values are greater than or equal to negative 4. Why we say equal? Because this point is highlighted. Greater than or equal to negative 4. Right? Equal means this point is highlighted. Right? Right. So this point is true, but haven't highlighted. Empty circle. Just the inequality mark. Right? Now x values are here. It is greater than 2. X values are here. Greater than 2. Then x values are here. Right? It is less than or equal to negative 1. Right? So the negative 1 means here. We have to take less than or equal. Right? All the values are less than to negative 1 when you go to this side. Less than negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, blah blah blah. All the values are less than negative 1. Right? Less than or equal because this is an highlighted value. Highlighted value. Other fine. Alright, hope you have done this part. Okay, maybe anyone any unclear point? Anyone? Please tell me yes or no. Did you get this or not? Any unclear point? So that I will explain this again. Right. Okay, great. So we are going to move to next. Right. So when it comes to this vinegar, this is the easiest thing you can ever have. This is the easiest thing you can ever have. Other right. Inequalities of the form x plus or minus a greater than or equal to b. Right? X plus or minus a greater than or equal to b. Right? So we are going to discuss that. Let me come to the board. Right? So I will do it on the board. so that you can understand it clearly. So එදා එන සෙට් එකක්ම කිව්වා එන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. ඒක මම අද දැන් ක්ලාස් කරේකට කට්ටිය වැඩ නැති. Right. Okay. Come to the page number 3. Come to the page number 3. So we are going to do an example directly. Example like that. Right. So let's do example number 1 and example number 2, right? Right. First of all, look at example number 1. Right? X plus 3 less than 10. X plus 3 less than 10. So when it comes to here, now think, you do not have any inequality mark in between these. Correct? Now think this is an equation. How we are going to isolate x on your left hand side? What you are going to do? Think. By using the knowledge of the formula lesson, you can isolate x on your left hand side, right? What is the Kharadalakara that you are going to remove? Okay? Positive 3. How to remove positive 3? Subtract 3 from both sides. Done. Okay? This is an inequality, but you don't need to worry at all about that. The thing you are going to do is you are going to isolate x on your left hand side because you are going to obtain an inequality for x to get the solution. So in example number 1, they are asking solve the inequality. That means you have to take the value for x, isolate x on your left hand side, and represent the integral solutions on the number line. Keep that in your mind. So how to solve this? You know, x plus 3. If you want to remove positive 3, you are going to subtract 3 from both sides. If you want, you can directly take this, then positive 3 to the other side as well, right? So cancel out. X is less than 10 minus 3 means 7. Right? You are going to mark the integral solution. Integer, right? X is less than 7. This is my number line. So I would mark 7 somewhere around here and 8 also here. 6, 5, 4, 3, right? Blah blah blah. Right? It continues up. X is less than 7. Where is my 7? This is my 7. Do I need to highlight it? No. I no need to highlight it because we do not have any equality mark here. This is an empty circle. And they are asking from us the integral solutions. Right? So all values less than this. Right? We have to highlight them because 6 is an answer for x, 5 is an answer for x, 4 is an answer for x, but 7 is not an answer for x because just an inequality, less than 7, right? 3 is an answer for x, right? And blah 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 blah. Right? So this is the answer. And this is the answer. So they do it, right? You know how to solve that. But I think this is an equation. Make equation like so the story is over. Okay, then example number 2. That is also an equation, but there is an inequality mark instead of equal mark. So you have to solve for x. You have to find the solution for x in example number 2. Example number 2 is something like this. X is x minus 3 greater than or equal to 1, right? And represent identify the difference between example number 1 and example number 2. In example number 2, they are asking solve the inequality x minus 3 greater than or equal to 1, right? Greater than or equal 1, and represent the solution set, not asking the integral set, but asking solution set, all possible values set. Keep that in your mind and do it. First of all, solve this. X minus 3. If you want to remove negative 3, you have to add 3 to both sides. Cancel out, cancel out. X is greater than or equal 1 plus 3, 4. All the possible values, including 4, right, and greater than 4. Including 4 and greater than 4, all the possible values are solutions for x. So how to mark it on a number line? So I would take like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 is where? 4 is here. Is it an empty circle? No, because we are having equal one. This is the highlighted circle. And are they asking integral solution set or the solution set? Possible solution set, all values. So x is greater than or equal. So from here onwards, you have to highlight all values. So this should be your answer. And what is here? Right. Understood? Done. Please send me D. Please send me D. Right. Okay, great. So now we are going to move to the page number 4. There is something that you need to understand. Very small point. Very small point. But I have given you the fully introduction point. Inequalities of the form of x less than or equal or greater than b. Okay. Right. X is greater than or equal or less than b. So this is the inequality that we are going to take and we are going to solve. Right? Here, this is also an equation. Make up the equation. This is also an equation. And you are going to find the value for x. Right? Very basically, you are going to find the value for x. But sometimes, right, when you are solving this one, make a solver router, you have to divide both sides by, right? You have to divide this side by a, this side by a. If that a is positive, no inequality changes happen. But if you are dividing your left hand side and right hand side both by negative when the previous inequality changes to the opposite, right? When we are doing the questions, you can understand it. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, right? Take what I'm saying to your mind as it is. Take what I'm saying to your mind as it is, right? If you are dividing left hand side and the right hand side of the inequality by using a positive number, nothing will change. Right? By using a positive number, nothing will change. Right? But now there is a particular inequality. Right? Inequality. You are going to divide your left hand side and right hand side by using a negative number. Left hand side and right hand side. By using a negative number, you are going to divide both sides by a negative number. Negative. If you are dividing both sides by using the same negative number, when it comes to the next step, your inequality flip. Alright? Keep that in mind. Here you have this inequality. When you divide both sides by a negative number only, when it comes to the next step, this inequality flip, right? It becomes like this. Previously we had this. If we divided it by negative number both sides, it flipped this. Right? This previous one greater than 1 or less than 1. This the afterwards, after dividing by a negative number, it flipped. Right? It flipped. Right? Keep that in mind. That is the important thing you need to understand. Right? So directly we are going to do some examples. Right? Directly we are going to do some examples. The thing that I told you earlier is valid only for when you are dividing both sides by a negative number. But if you are dividing both sides by a positive number, nothing will change. You can continue. Right? Example number 1. Right? Example number 1. Solve the inequality 3x less than 12 and represent the solutions on a number line. They are asking solution set, not the integral. Integral something, there is no like any word integral or something. Right? So you have to use solution. Solution means full solution set. Right? 3x less than 12. Example number 1. 3x less than 12. So now again think this is an equation, but originally we have in between the two numbers, right? Two terms we have inequality. But you know how to solve an equation, right? To find the value of x or isolate x, what you can do, you are going to divide both sides by positive 3. Positive number, nothing will change, right? Nothing will change. So I'm rewriting this one. So for your understanding, right? So if I want to isolate x on my left hand side, you have to divide this side by 3, this side by 3. So 3 times 1, 3 times 1. X is less than. This inequality does not change. This inequality does not change because you are dividing both sides by a positive number. Positive number. When you are dividing both sides by a positive number, nothing will happen. So keep as it is. 12 divided by 3, 4. 12 divided by 3, 4. Today, please mark this solution on a number line. Right? Please mark this solution on a number line. And do the example number 2 as well. Right? I will discuss all the things there. do example number one. So I have done it, and you have to represent the solution there. And in example number two, no need to represent the solution set. If you want, you can represent the solution set, but I need you to solve it. This one is easy. Maybe easy, right? So I'm going to represent. I'm going to represent this value of this inequality on a number line. Right? This inequality on a number line. Right. So I'm going to draw my number line. My inequality is x less than 4. My inequality is x less than 4. Right? So where is 4? 4 is somewhere around here. And here you have 5. Here you have 3. Here you have 2. Here you have 1. And blah blah blah. Right? This is just an inequality. That means you have less than mark. X is less than 4. All the values that you can refer for x is less than 4. Right? So you have to begin from 4. And is this an empty circle or a straight circle? This is an empty circle. An empty circle. Why? Because here we do not have any equal mark. Right? So from here to the negative infinity, you have to highlight the solution set. We have to highlight the solution set. So this is your answer for the example number 1. Right? So example number 2. Right? So if you want, you can do example number 3 and example number 4 by the thing that I have given you earlier. Right? When you are dividing both sides by a negative number, inequality flips. Inequality flips. Right? So I will do example number 2 for you. Right? While I am discussing, if you want, you can do the other. And you can just take the answer itself. Right? This inequality is 4x greater than or equal 15. Right? So I am writing my inequality again. So if I want to isolate x, I am going to divide this side by 4 and this side by 4. Right? 4 times 1, 4 times 1. X is greater than or equal 16 divided by 4 is 4. Right? So nothing happens to my inequality. It stays as it is. Because I have divided both sides by a positive number. Nothing will change. This does not change. Dividing both sides by a positive number. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. Right? Right. Then if you want, you can highlight this in a number line as well. Correct? How many number line you have done? So this is my number line. Right? So all the values including number 4 is the answer for x. All the values greater than 4, including number 4. 4 is here, 4 is here, then you have 5, then you have 6, then you have 7, 8, blah blah blah. Here you have 3, and inequality is based on number 4, right? So do I need to highlight this number 4 circle? Yes, because you have an inequality mark. So equal mark as well. So you have to highlight it. All the values including 4 and greater than 4 is a solution for this. Is a solution for this. Right? So let's go for example number 3. Right? Right? Example number 3. Minus 5x less than or equal 15. Right. Okay, now you need to understand the pattern. According to what I said earlier, right? So when you are solving this, they send me the answer, right? Are you going to flip the inequality or not? Yes or no? Flip. Yes. Okay. Any other answers? Are you going to flip or not the inequality when you are finding the solution? Right? Only one answer received. Okay. I will continue this. So, for your reference, I will rewrite this inequality again. Negative 5x less than or equal 50, less than or equal 50. So, I am going to divide both sides by which number? I am going to divide both sides by which number? Is it a positive number or a negative? In order to isolate x in my left hand side, I am going to divide both sides by a positive number or a negative. I am going to divide both sides by negative number, which is negative 5. Negative 5. So, in this step, I am going to divide this side by negative 5 and this side by negative 5. Right. When it comes to this step, I am going to flip my equation. Sorry, equal mark. So negative divided by negative, negative divided by negative, positive. 5 times 1, 5 times 1. Right? Positive divided by negative. Right? Positive divided by negative. Negative. Right? So here we have x. Right? Here we have x. Here we have x. Here positive divided by negative, negative. Positive divided by negative, negative. 15 divided by 5, 3. Right? 15 divided by 5, 3. So this inequality changes to the other side. This inequality changes to the other side. What are you looking at? Okay, think about it. Right? Here you have x greater than, sorry, I'm not going to do that part, right? Positive divided by negative, negative. 15 divided by 5, 3. Right? 15 divided by 5, 3. This is the original inequality. Since we have divided both sides by a negative number, we are going to flip this inequality to the other side. So, greater than or equal. So, as according to this, x is greater than or equal to -3. If you want to represent this inequality on the number line, you may use B. All the values, including -3 greater than -3, is a solution 0, 1 up to infinity, right? So here x is greater than or equal to -3. So are we going to shade or highlight the circle? Yes, because we are having inequality mark. So we are going to highlight the circle like this, right? And all the values greater than -3 is a solution. So we have to highlight this full part up to positive infinity. Right? So this should be the answer. Yes, yes. -3. Yeah. And most important thing is how you place the inequality. Yeah? This inequality flip because you are dividing both sides by negative number. Right? So then, please do example number 4. Example number 4. Example number 4. It is something like -3x, right? -3x less than 2. -3x less than 2. Right? Here you have -3x. Huh? Here. Right? Do example number 4. Right. Okay, you have taken the answers, but to the main, right? You need to understand how the inequality changes. That is the important part of it. Okay, important part is right? How the inequality changes, right? Right? -3x. I will do. This is example number 4. Example number 4. So the -3x less than or equal to -3x less than or equal to 2. So how to isolate x on the left hand side? Right. I will rewrite this one for your understanding. Right. So I'm going to divide this side by -3 and at the same time the other side by -3. Right? Negative divided by negative positive. 3 times 1, 3 times 1. Now you have on this left hand side x. And I'm not going to uh, write down the inequality mark right now. So this is positive 2 divided by -3. Positive 2 divided by -3. Right? So positive divided by negative, negative. 2 divided by 3, I will plus 2 divided by 3 as it. Or you can say this is negative 0.6666. Right? And what happens to the inequality mark? Previously you had this, but when you have divided both sides by negative number, it flips like this. Right? Okay. Then if you want, you can do this, right? If they do not ask you to uh, give the solution set on a number line, no need to give it. You can keep it like this. But definitely they would ask represent the inequality on a number line. Right? So here you need to use solution set, not the integral set. This is a number line, right? Negative 0.6 in between 0 and negative 1. Right? So 0 is somewhere around here. This is negative 1. This is negative 2. Right? 1, 2, 3. Negative 0.6. 0.6 lies between 0 and negative 1. So somewhere around here. Right? So do I need to use highlighted circle or just a circle? Just a circle, because we do not have any equal mark here. Right? So this is an empty circle. Right? This is an empty circle. And each and every value that you are taking here, right, for the x is greater than this value. May value is not a value, right? Greater than this negative 0.6. Greater than, you have to travel to the right hand side of the number. So all the values starting from here to the positive infinity. Got it? So this should be answer. There is another example, example number 5, right? That one is also easy. Right? So we come to the mixed exercise part, page number 6. Page number 6 again. Come to the page number 6. I'm going to share the screen. One last example, one last question. Come to example number, sorry, to the page number 6. Please try this. When we try to inequality count, please send me inequality for this one. This one. Then we the inequality for this one. So you might be having x is greater than or equal something blah blah blah, or x is less than or equal some number, right? I need to see that answer, right? Please send it. So when you are typing greater than or equal or less than equal, you can use this greater than or equal, right? Or less than or equal. For an example, x is greater than or equal 5. Right? For an example, x is less than or equal 10. Right? You have to send me the answer like this for this 15 question in the mix exercise, 15 question, 11th sub part. Right? Please send me the answer. I need to check the answer only with the inequality. Please send it. I want to see who finishes first. फिर इसके अलावा हम इस पर भी first of all just solve for x, then think about the inequality, right? First solve, then think about the inequality, how it changes, right? Is it taking too much time? That means you have forgotten the things from formula lesson, huh? Formula lesson take out the nothing. That's the case. Okay. So let me solve this. So first of all, I will rewrite this from your idea. So this is for your understanding. So you are going to isolate x, right? You are going to isolate x, right? You are going to isolate x, right? So if you are going to isolate x, first of all you are going to remove 5. First of all you are going to remove 5, right? So I am going to multiply both sides by 5. This is a positive number, right? So nothing would change. Huh? This is a positive number. 5 times 1, 5 times 1. Right? Here nothing will change. It's 5 upon 8, right? Here you have negative 2x greater than or equal 5 upon 8. 5 upon 8. Right? Greater than or equal 5 upon 8. Because I have multiplied both sides by a positive number. Nothing would change. You could change in that. Right? Now, if you remove this negative 2, what you are going to do? You are going to divide this side by negative 2. Right? And also, you are going to divide this side by negative 2. And you are going to divide both sides by negative 2. Negative divided by negative, positive. 2 times 1, 2 times 1. Now, in left hand side, you have x. Right hand side, you have positive divided by negative, negative. Numerator 5, denominator 2 times 8, 16. Right? What happens to this inequality? It should be changed because you are dividing both sides by negative sign, right? Negative number. It should place like this. Right. Okay. So this is it. Right? Yes, I will explain. Right. So when it comes to here, right? When it comes to here, right? So I will do it again. Only I will run now. Right? Here, I will do the same thing again. Right? So negative 2 divided by 5, x greater than or equal 1 upon 8. So you are going to isolate x in your left hand side, right? X in your left hand side, right? So first of all, you are going to remove 5. In order to remove 5, you are going to multiply, right? You are going to multiply both sides by 5. You are going to multiply both sides by 5. Right? So 5 times 1, 5 times 1. Now you have negative 2 times x greater than or equal 1 times 5 divided by 8. Right? Now you are going to remove negative 2 from your left hand side. So in order to remove negative 2, you are going to divide this side by 2, right? And you are going to divide this side by 2. Divide means it should be in the denominator, right? So there is a logic. I have explained that logic a few more times in the theory class as well, right? So that means we are going to divide this side by 2 as well. Divide means this negative 2 goes to the denominator. And negative 2 goes to the denominator. So negative divided by negative. Positive 2 times 1, 2 times 1. Now in my left hand side I have x only. Right hand side numerator is 5. But positive 5 divided by negative number. Now positive number divided by negative number, this is negative. 8 times 2, 16. 8 times 2, 16. What happens to this inequality? Because I have already divided by both sides by negative number, this inequality flips. Less than or equal. So this should be the final answer for the inequality. Right? Negative means, divide by negative 2 means you are going to take that negative 2 to the denominator. Denominator. Right. So that is the theme, right? So you can complete the table, right?